Let's talk strictly about the topic. Only discuss what it means, no unnecessary points. The key discussion should stay focused on the subject, and in such a way that it leaves me eager for the next page. Flax seeds are small, but their nutritional profile is anything but minor, especially when it comes to the health of aging eyes. The reason they deserve attention in senior nutrition is because of one primary component, omega-3 fatty acids. These essential fats, and particularly the plant-based form called alpha-linolenic acid ALA, are what make flax seeds a promising addition to any senior's daily diet. The aging process naturally brings on wear and tear to nearly every part of the body, and the eyes are no exception. The retina, a thin layer of tissue at the back of the eye responsible for sensing light and transmitting signals to the brain, is especially sensitive to inflammation and oxidative damage. Without protective nutrition, the retina can degrade slowly, leading to blurred vision, eye fatigue, or even more serious conditions such as age-related macular degeneration, AMD. What's critical here is that omega-3 cells like ALA support the very foundation of eye structure and function. They are known to reduce inflammation, something that often builds up subtly in the eye as people age. Inflammation may not always present itself with pain, but it can create microdamage over time that disrupts visual clarity and comfort. ALA in flax seeds has been shown to provide anti-inflammatory benefits, which, when consumed regularly, can help shield the delicate retinal cells from this damage. It doesn't stop at inflammation. The lubrication of the eye is another area where flax seeds have relevance. Many seniors complain of dry, irritated eyes, which may result from reduced tear production or exposure to dry environments. Omega-3 fatty acids help support the production of healthy tears, improving overall eye moisture and comfort. It's not just about seeing better, it's also about feeling better, with less itching, redness, or that grainy, tired sensation that comes with dry eye. Including flax seeds in a senior's diet doesn't require a major lifestyle shift. The seeds can be ground and added to soft foods like oatmeal, yogurt, or mashed fruits, making them accessible even for those with dental concerns or digestive sensitivity. The idea here is to deliver therapeutic nutrients in a way that feels natural and sustainable. A teaspoon of ground flaxseed daily can contribute meaningfully to ALA intake, and when paired with a diet rich in vegetables, lean proteins, and hydration, it becomes part of a wider strategy for visual health. Let's not confuse this with a miracle fix. Flax seeds aren't a cure, but their consistent inclusion in a diet can serve as a protective buffer. What matters most is that they give you an option, something manageable and real, to work into your routine for the sake of your vision. It is rare to find a food that is both simple and so directly useful for a single, vulnerable part of the body. But that's exactly what flax seeds represent when it comes to eye care in later life. And beyond the omega-3 south, flax seeds come with other helpful nutrients like vitamin E and zinc, both of which also support retinal health. But again, staying focused, the priority here is ALA. You don't need to overthink it or complicate your meals. Just know that something as small as flaxseed has the potential to protect something as vital and precious as your eyesight. As we age, independence becomes closely tied to vision, reading labels, recognizing faces, navigating stairs. So much of your safety, confidence, and freedom starts with being able to see clearly. That's why these little seeds carry so much weight in the conversation around senior health. This is not just about seeing in the moment, it's about keeping your world visible as the years continue to pass. When something so small can deliver support in a way that's gentle, affordable, and accessible, it deserves a place in your daily habits. One seed, one spoon, one step toward preserving the quality of how you see the world. Now, if you understand what flaxseed can offer, you might be wondering what other foods carry this kind of quiet power for aging eyes and bodies. What else could you be missing that's just as easy to integrate, but just as protective? Let's explore that next. Two halves, ChatGPT said. Let's talk strictly about the topic. Only discuss what it means, no unnecessary points. The key discussion should stay focused on the subject, and in such a way that it leaves me eager for the next page. When it comes to vision, health, antioxidants are the frontline defense. Among the most important for aging eyes is a compound called lutein. Lutein is a carotenoid, a plant pigment found in certain seeds and leafy vegetables. But it isn't just about color, it plays an active role in protecting the retina from damage caused by light, oxidative stress, and inflammation. What makes this especially significant for seniors is that as the body ages, natural stores of lutein decline. This makes dietary intake not just helpful but necessary. Lutein collects in the macula, a small area in the center of the retina responsible for sharp central vision. This part of the eye allows us to read, recognize faces, and perform everyday tasks like dialing a phone or threading a needle. The macula is constantly exposed to light, especially blue light from screens and sunlight. Over time, this light can create free radicals and stable molecules that damage cells. Lutein acts like internal sunglasses, absorbing blue light and neutralizing those free radicals before they can harm the sensitive tissues of the eye. This protective action is not abstract. Studies show that people who consume higher levels of lutein-rich foods have a lower risk of developing macular degeneration, AMD. One of the leading causes of vision loss in people over 60, AMD does not strike suddenly, it creeps in slowly. You might notice colors becoming duller, lines less sharp, or light glare worsening. By the time it's severe, treatment options become limited. But lutein offers a proactive approach, one that doesn't involve pills or procedures, but simply eating smarter. The key food sources of lutein include seeds like pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds. These are especially beneficial for seniors because they're soft, easy to chew, and can be added to foods that are already familiar, yogurt, salads, or even blended into soups. Just a tablespoon or two can provide a solid boost to your daily intake. For people with limited appetite or digestive issues, small portions packed with benefits are ideal. Unlike synthetic supplements that may be difficult to absorb or come with side effects, lutein in food form is gentle, bioavailable, and often accompanied by other nutrients that aid its absorption. For instance, lutein is fat-soluble, meaning it's best absorbed when eaten with a bit of healthy fat. Seeds naturally contain that fat, making them one of the most efficient delivery systems. It's not just about what's in the food, it's how your body uses it. There's also the cumulative effect to consider. Vision issues don't result from one day of bad habits, they build up over time. Likewise, improvements won't be noticeable overnight, but every day you include a food rich in lutein, you're reinforcing a defense line that could help preserve your sight in the months and years to come. This is how real prevention works, not through big gestures, but steady habits that fit easily into your routine. For seniors, independence often hinges on the ability to see clearly. Whether it's taking medication properly, driving safely, or enjoying a hobby like reading or knitting, clear vision adds quality and dignity to everyday life. Lutein doesn't promise perfect sight, but it does offer protections, something that becomes increasingly important as you age and as your body becomes less capable of maintaining its own nutrient balance without help. We're not talking about exotic superfoods or expensive regimes. We're talking about common, humble seeds that carry within them the ability to shield one of the most sensitive and irreplaceable parts of your body. Lutein is not hype, it is a scientifically supported way to approach the challenge of aging vision with care, responsibility, and a touch of empowerment. And so, if you're serious about maintaining your eyesight and keeping your daily life bright and functional, a closer relationship with foods rich in lutein isn't just a suggestion, it's a wise decision. It's simple, it's safe, and it's something you can do starting with your next meal. But there's something else worth considering. If lutein protects from the inside out, what other natural compounds might do the same? What other nutrients could be quietly defending your vision every day if only you knew where to find them? That's exactly what we're about to uncover next. Let's talk strictly about the topic. Only discuss what it means. No unnecessary points. The key discussion should stay focused on the subject, and in such a way that it leaves me eager for the next page. When we talk about protecting vision, naturally, omega-3's fatty acids are often mentioned, but many don't fully understand the specific role they play, especially in how they impact the structure and performance of the retina. Among the many types of omega-3s, one stands out as particularly crucial for eye health: DHA, or docosahexaenoic acid. DHA is a structural fat. In fact, it makes up about 30% of the fatty acids in the retina. That's not just a fun fact, a direct indicator of how critical this nutrient is to the functioning of your eyes. Think of DHA as the scaffolding that supports the cells in your retina. Without enough of it, that structure becomes weak. The cells can't transmit signals as effectively, which in everyday terms means slower visual processing, poor adaptation to light changes, and greater vulnerability to long-term damage. For seniors, this becomes especially important. As we age, our natural DHA levels tend to drop, and our body's ability to make it internally slows down. If dietary intake doesn't pick up the slack, the retina suffers. Scientific studies continue to highlight this relationship. Populations with diets rich in DHA, like those who consume fatty fish, regularly tend to have lower rates of age-related macular degeneration. In contrast, DHA deficiency has been linked to both dry eye syndrome and increased oxidative stress in the eye. That matters because oxidative stress is one of the silent drivers behind progressive vision loss. It doesn't cause pain. It doesn't always show up in a routine checkup, but over time, it chips away at the health of your photoreceptor cells, very ones that allow you to see clearly, in color, and in detail. One of the unique things about DHA is that it doesn't just protect, it also repairs. Studies show that DHA helps regenerate damaged cells in the retina, allowing them to restore some of their original function. This is especially relevant for seniors who already experience visual decline. Including DHA-rich foods in the diet isn't just preventative, it may actually improve certain aspects of vision that have already begun to fade. So where do you get this kind of support? The most efficient sources of DHA are fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. But for those who don't eat fish due to preference, dietary restrictions, or cost, there are alternatives. Algae oil is a plant-based source of DHA that is just as effective and often easier to digest. Supplements can also help, but food-based sources are typically absorbed better and come with the added benefit of other nutrients, like vitamin D and selenium, which also support eye health. What's critical here is consistency. Doesn't build up overnight. It accumulates slowly, day by day, as part of your regular dietary habits. For seniors, that means incorporating a DHA source several times a week, not once in a while. Think of it like watering a plant. You don't flood it once a month, you nourish it gently and repeatedly. That's how your retina thrives. With care, attention, and steady support. One overlooked benefit of DHA is its anti-inflammatory properties. Inflammation is another quiet contributor to vision loss. It narrows blood vessels, restricts oxygen flow, and encourages the breakdown of retinal tissue. DHA helps counter this by calming inflammation at the cellular level. This isn't about eliminating inflammation completely, that's not realistic, but rather about restoring balance. And balance is what the eye needs most, especially in later years. We also have to talk about synergy. Doesn't work in isolation. Its benefits are enhanced when consumed alongside other nutrients like antioxidants, zinc, and vitamin E. That's why a well-rounded approach to nutrition matters. No single food or compound will save your vision, but together, they create a strong system of support that defends against decline and enhances function. For seniors who may be noticing the early signs of vision deterioration, like difficulty reading fine print, glare while driving at night, or slower adjustment when moving between bright and dim spaces, DHA isn't just a nice addition. It's essential. It gives your eyes what they need to maintain performance, and it does so in a way that is gentle, natural, and accessible. So the message here is simple. DHA fuels the very part of your eye that lets you see the world in focus. Whether it comes from fish, algae, oil, or a supplement recommended by your doctor, this nutrient belongs in your toolkit for aging with clarity. And if you haven't been paying attention to your DHA intake, now is the time to start. But that leads us to the next vital piece of the puzzle. If DHA supports the structural integrity of the retina, what nutrient fuels the blood supply that nourishes it? That question opens a whole new discussion, one you won't want to miss. You said, let's talk strictly about the topic. Only discuss what it means, no unnecessary points. The key discussion should stay focused on the subject, end in such a way that it leaves me eager for the next page. When we focus on long-term eye health, the conversation usually centers on vision loss and the structural damage that happens with age. But a critical factor often overlooked is circulation, specifically, how well blood flows to the eyes and retina. Good blood flow is not just important, it's essential. Every cell in the eye, especially those in the retina, depends on a constant, steady supply of oxygen and nutrients. Without it, even the healthiest diet can fall short because the nutrients never reach their intended destination. In aging individuals, one of the first things to deteriorate is circulation. Blood vessels become less elastic. Arteries may stiffen or narrow due to years of accumulated plaque or inflammation. What does that mean for your eyes? It means your retina doesn't get the fuel it needs. Even something as basic as adjusting from bright sunlight to a darker room takes longer because the photoreceptor cells aren't operating at full strength. These cells rely on the nutrients and oxygen carried in your blood to convert light into images, a process that's seamless when circulation is healthy and sluggish when it's not. That's why seeds that support cardiovascular health can also indirectly and significantly support your eyes. One of the most powerful in this category is flaxseed, rich in alpha-linolenic acid ALA, a type of plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. Flax seeds have been shown to improve blood vessel function. They help relax the inner lining of blood vessels, improve elasticity, and reduce systemic inflammation, all of which contributes to smoother, more efficient blood flow. More efficient blood flow means better delivery of oxygen and nutrients to the eye's fragile tissues. There's another angle to this. Poor circulation also means poor waste removal. The retina generates a lot of cellular waste as it processes visual information. If circulation is weak, that waste lingers, creating a toxic environment that accelerates cellular aging and breakdown. So it's not just about bringing in the good ites, also about flushing out the bad. And healthy circulation, supported by nutrients like ALA, helps the body do both. Let's look at the science. In multiple studies, ALA has been associated with a reduction in blood pressure, improved cholesterol levels, and better endothelial function. The endothelium is the thin layer of cells lining your blood vessels, including those that supply your eyes. When the endothelium is inflamed or damaged, blood can't move as freely. That's one reason why people with high blood pressure or diabetes often experience faster rates of vision decline. The damage begins in the circulatory system and ends in the retina. So how do you use flaxseed to get this benefit? First, it needs to be ground. Whole flax seeds are not easily digested, meaning the body doesn't access much of the ILA. Ground flaxseed, on the other hand, can be sprinkled over oatmeal, added to smoothies, or stirred into yogurt. Just 1 to 2 tablespoons a day is enough to make a measurable impact over time. Consistency is key here. Like anything in nutrition, the effects of flaxseed are cumulative. The more regularly it's consumed, the more support your blood vessels and, by extension, your eyes. For seniors who are already managing circulatory challenges, like hypertension or early-stage vascular disease, flaxseed is a gentle, food-based way to support the body. It doesn't interfere with medications, and its side effects are minimal to none. But it offers a way to actively participate in your own care too. Choose something each day that builds your body rather than depletes it. We also need to understand that the eyes are among the most metabolically active organs in the body. They are constantly working, even when you're sleeping, adjusting to light, sending signals to the brain, and interpreting contrast and depth. This metabolic demand requires robust, uninterrupted circulation. Any compromise in blood flow is felt first in your vision subtly at first, then more noticeably over time. And so, when you choose to eat something like flaxseed daily, you're not just making a heart-smart choice, you're actively choosing to preserve one of your most vital senses, your vision. It's a small seed, but its impact is deeply layered, stretching from the heart to the eyes and back again. Every heartbeat that moves cleaner, more nutrient-rich blood through your system is also helping your eyes function at their best. That brings us to a deeper point. If flaxseed helps circulation reach the eye, is there a way to amplify that even further? Is there another natural compound that improves not just blood flow, but also oxygen absorption at the cellular level? That's exactly where we're headed next, you said. Let's talk strictly about the topic. Only discuss what it means, no unnecessary points. The key discussion should stay focused on the subject, and in such a way that it leaves me eager for the next page. When we talk about protecting the eyes, naturally, antioxidants almost always enter the conversation, and for good reason. These compounds play a frontline role in preventing and slowing vision decline, especially as we age. Oxidative stress is one of the most common causes of cellular damage in the retina. It happens when the body produces more free radical molecules that damage cells than it can neutralize. Over time, this imbalance can weaken the retina, dull vision, and contribute to common age-related eye diseases like macular degeneration and cataracts. That's why the role of antioxidants, like lutein and zeaxanthin, cannot be overstated. These two carotenoids naturally found in the eye's macula are responsible for filtering harmful blue light and protecting against oxidative damage. Think of them as built-in sunglasses and repair workers for your eyes. But here's the issue. As we age, our levels of these antioxidants decline. The body doesn't produce them on its own. They must be obtained from food. And this is where certain seeds come into the picture. Pumpkin seeds, for example, are particularly rich in zinc, nutrient closely tied to antioxidant function in the eye. Zinc plays a critical supporting role. It helps transport vitamin A from the liver to the retina, where it is used to produce melanin, a protective pigment in the eyes. Without enough zinc, the antioxidant network that defends your vision starts to break down. Zinc also supports the enzymes that help regenerate antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin after they've done their job. In essence, it keeps the eye's defense system running smoothly. So when seniors include seeds like pumpkin seeds in their diet, they're not just adding crunch to a salad or extra protein to a smoothie. They're reinforcing the antioxidant chain of defense inside their eyes. And the benefits are cumulative. 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds contains nearly 20% of the recommended daily intake of zinc, along with vitamin E and small amounts of lutein. Together, these compounds form a team that helps fight oxidative stress from every angle. Now, oxidative damage in the eye doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process. You might start by noticing a slight blurring in low light. Reading fine print becomes more of a strain. Glare from headlights at night might feel more intense than it used to. These aren't just symptoms of getting older. They're signs that your eyes are working harder to compensate for internal wear. The antioxidant-rich nutrients in seeds can help slow that wear, and even reverse early damage when introduced consistently into the diet. What makes seeds even more powerful is their density. A small amount delivers a large dose of beneficial nutrients. That's ideal for older adults who may have a reduced appetite or need to be more selective about what they eat. Instead of bulky supplements or difficult-to-digest meals, a tablespoon or 2 of seeds can quietly support the body's most delicate structures, including the retina. Let's also not forget about inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation is another silent contributor to vision decline. It damages blood vessels, stresses retinal cells, and interferes with the eye's natural repair mechanisms. The vitamin E and omega-3 south found in many seeds, including sunflower and chia, possess natural anti-inflammatory properties. By calming this inflammation, they further protect the eye's sensitive tissues from accelerated aging. But here's where the real shift in perspective happens. Eating seeds isn't just about not getting worse, it's about actively building better eye health. When you add a seed-based routine to your day, say, mixing a tablespoon of ground pumpkin or sunflower seeds into your breakfast, you're doing something that quietly compounds. Day after day, those nutrients accumulate in your tissues. They form part of the cells that make up your vision. And because these seeds are natural, whole foods, the body knows exactly how to use them. What's especially encouraging is that none of this requires drastic change. It doesn't involve expensive procedures, complex diets, or restrictive habits. It starts with something small. One spoonful, one handful, but with purpose, with clarity, with the understanding that what you feed your eyes today shapes how you see the world tomorrow. So if seeds like pumpkin, sunflower, and chia can deliver this much support to your eyes, the next logical question is, what happens when we combine them? Is there a specific blend that maximizes their vision protective power even further? That's exactly where we're going next.